I have been so excited for Babylon ever since I read the synopsis and checked out the trailer for this series when walking into the fall 2019 anime season. I had no idea that Amazon was going to pull a Vinland Saga and drop the first 3 episodes back to back to back, which is why this review is coming out later, as typically when an episode drops, I release it the same day that the episode released, so the review would come out just probably a few hours later. I didn't know this was happening. It's supposed to be a Monday show, but then Amazon surprises us like Christmas morning, coming on December 24th instead of the 25th. This has to be the most memorable first impression of the fall season so far. Now, the season has just started off, but I feel giddy, I feel excited. The future to not only this series, but maybe more cop thriller anime could actually be coming out of Japan, because a lot of time when you get cop series, it's full of anime gimmicks, a lot of anime tropes, and it just feels a little too goofy when we're supposed to feel intense like a lot of great western and just other, live action cop thrillers. This is doing so. Now, this series could easily fail, don't get me wrong, but they showed us the first 3 episodes, the first arc, and what we just saw was simply incredible. Now, I know a lot of people will come into a first impressions to see, oh, I didn't hear about this, or I was cautious, I wonder what Brandon or another person is thinking about this. At the very least, watch the first episode if you haven't already. Episode 1 and episode 3 both end on something I was not expecting. Episode 1 more so because I really thought it was going to be one type of anime and then it completely changed the direction, but at least watch episode 1 because that twist is so good. Now, a lot of times when an anime wants to kill off what appears to be a very important character, you see it coming a mile away, especially if it's in his first episode. Fumio is a character who I truly bought into was the main character. I thought Zen would be his mentor, his guiding light in a lot of ways. He would be an important character, but Fumio would be the up-and-coming rookie. He would get to be involved in political crime, which that seemed really cool. And sites like My Anime List and whatnot didn't have character listings, so I had no reason to, suspect that he was going to get whacked so early. The whole idea of just a political campaign and how there could be corruption and manipulation using prostitution to actually manipulate, potential voters, and just drugs and suicide. Like, there's so many ways to make such an interesting story, and I was really interested in, I was thinking, okay, Fumio Zen, we're going to follow this over 12 episodes or so, uncover a conspiracy, and let's see what really happens. And then by the end of the first episode, Fumio is dead by suicide. I literally, after that, I didn't go to episode 2 right away. I sat there for a good 5 minutes just thinking about this episode, being like, if this was not the first 3 episodes back to back, I would have been okay with that. But for some reason, they struck a deal with, the company, and because they had the license to say, we're going to really hype people up to watch Babylon, and I can't thank them enough. I assume it's going to play catch up, so in 2-3 weeks, that's when we'll get episode 4 where it's supposed to air. I'm guaranteed we're not getting episode 4 next week. It's going to play catch up with the TV broadcast, but like with Vinland Saga, I'm just a giddy schoolgirl right now with what I just saw. It's such an interesting idea. There's so many ways and kind of, just paths that they could follow to really turn this into something incredible, potentially even anime of the season material, should the remainder of this season actually deliver the quality that the first 3 episodes just did. I love how it kind of takes you on this ride, really making you buy into that, it's going to be this political campaign, and then there's the suicide, but of course we know someone had to have done that. It has to be like a cover-up for the political campaign, and then they drop the bombshell that, the head people in charge of this criminal investigation were in on it with the whole political sabotage, but they weren't apparently behind the suicides, and how that's why they kept him on the case. It just completely shakes up non-stop what you think you know about this anime, both with episode 1, 2, and 3. It continuously shifts the direction and tone of what you expect, and that's why it's an actual good thriller. Thriller gets slapped on any series across all mediums, and it's rarely a thriller. But I can confidently say, the first 3 episodes, they deserve that tag. It thrilled you. It actually took you on a ride, made you think one thing, and then showed you something completely different, from murder to just conspiracies, and how they tangled this political web together. It was crazy, and I love the idea of how they structured this campaign to have 5 candidates in on it, so that they could build this area where they could test out new laws and regulations, so the modern world would be able to incorporate it after seeing the success or failure of what they could do. It's actually pretty smart. You have 5 top candidates, they're all in on it together, they're going to make this young hot stud going to be the mayor, And the way you could easily secure that is by sabotaging yourself, by saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing. It's actually an incredible play, and obviously there's some, you gotta kind of turn your head from time to time with what's legal and ethical from the police side, but it's not the worst thing after seeing the suicides and how that was going to link up to murder. So I really liked that. I was like, okay, this is what we're getting. This will probably be the remainder of the season. You kind of get the common factor here. I think it's going to be this, and by the end of an episode, or the next episode, it completely shifts me. The third episode, this is where it just went off the rails in the best possible way. So we knew that it was going to be some shady shit going on with his like new laws and stuff. I wasn't expecting the mayor to embrace death like he did, making it so people could embrace it. And then we have this strange girl, Ai, who apparently can change her face, whether that be technological or maybe, something to do with the brain and drugs and things like that. And she is the key component that made people such as our up-and-coming rookie want death and then a drug that makes you essentially dead and will commit suicide. Like, that's insane. That's the thrill. I can't believe what these first 3 episodes just delivered. This was absolutely incredible. I actually thought Babylon would be one of these series that I would review, I would enjoy, but not a lot of people would find the thrill that I would in it. And then within one episode, they kill off what appears to be a main character, and then they just keep the ball moving non-stop with just people, mass suicides, conspiracies, political sabotage, and what's truly going on. And I don't know where episode 4 can go. Like, I keep thinking I know where this anime wants to go, and then now I'm like, okay, now that the cat's out of the bag, are they going to try to stop this person? Is there things that they have to uncover to, like, is it going to be primarily focused on this mysterious girl and why she's involved in this? Like, there's so many ways that this show could jump the shark, but because we just received the first 3 episodes and it confidently makes me, actually excited for it, I don't see why I should have more worries than enthusiasm. A lot of people give anime the 3 episode rule. I give anime the first 2-minute rule. If I don't like it within the first couple minutes, I drop out. So we just got the first 3 episodes, and they were incredible. At least I thought so. Maybe not everyone will. Maybe people will say, I thought this was complete and utter shit, which, fine, if you think that, so be it. I personally love it. I'm foaming at the mouth. I kind of want to rewatch the first 3 episodes, which, you know what? Maybe I will. Every Monday before we get actually episode 4, I'll just rewatch these. This was incredible, and it actually feels like not only is the story and character designs tight, it actually feels like the production is solid all around. I really enjoyed how they actually cut away and made it really dramatic, especially with the wide angles kind of tilting the camera around, really getting us up close and personal and seeing the sweat, the despair, the anxiety. It actually felt like we were being thrilled by the camera work and just the overall direction. The animation was solid, the character designs feel adult and actually feels mature, the voice actors feel mature. It doesn't feel like a typical, okay, we're trying to set it in the adult world, but it's still basically just high school bullshit. No, this is real world thriller, even if it does have potentially a more like not so realistic twist with maybe the whole person can switch her face with ease, which based on the fact that it's suicide pills, I'm not going to be surprised if it's something to do also with, another form of drug, or maybe they even have some technological advancements that do allow her to do it. But just based on what we've seen already with the drug, I wouldn't be surprised if her ability to change her appearance or make it look like she's there and then she's not is something to do with the mind and hallucinations or something like that. But when we did get into that interrogation, like that, before we knew exactly who she was, besides, the prostitute, her character was insane and I loved it. She called out things in such a way like, how can you prove, I was selling my body? Maybe I just fell in love with them at first sight, which, having sex willingly, not for money, nothing illegal about that. But then when she started bringing up the questions of like, what's good or what's bad? Should we talk to people who we disagree with? Okay, so having kids is good, not having kids is fine as well. What about murder? What if someone likes to murder and doesn't? Like, she just kept making it weirder and weirder to the point that, the viewer, our main character, we wanted to snap, being like, this bitch is insane. If anyone needs to get out of this show, it has to be her. Like, Fumio didn't deserve this, but maybe she does. And I love how twisted she was, and I'm so glad to see that she's going to be a prominent factor to the show, because what we saw in that interrogation room was bone-chilling. It really made us feel like we were freezing on the inside, And to see that smile towards the end, it's like this show could completely stun us. Maybe it's a little premature, saying this because we only have 3 episodes and this year has had so many great anime. But if they really nail this, if they really make this compelling from episode 1 all the way to the home run, finish it up strong, this could be one of the stronger series of the year, and that's saying something. Obviously, like I mentioned, I'm not saying this has, a guaranteed shot at landing its actual final step there, but should they, this will be incredible. I feel giddy. This is definitely my favorite thing that I've checked out so far with the new fall 2019 season. I thought I was going to enjoy it, but with the amount of twists and how many thrills I actually experienced, it absolutely overblew past my expectations. I thought it was going to be good at best, but so far it's absolutely fantastic, and your mind is just kind of blown, feeling like, what is happening? Where does it want to go? But the overall direction and how much they showed us, but how much further they, need to show us after what we just saw throughout these 3 episodes is incredible. Love the voice acting, love the character designs, the production overall is fantastic, and I love how Zen is someone who actually feels like an adult trapped in a pretty bullshit world right now, and he's actually suffering and just wanting to avenge what has happened to his fallen comrade and uncover this conspiracy, but with every step of the way, it gets even more insane. This was phenomenal, but what did everyone think who checked out at least an episode or all 3 of these episodes? And how excited are you for episode 4? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like and also hit that subscribe button if you have been new. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.